So we are understanding now about Ma Lal, how she left her house because her husband was doubting on her. He tried to hit her with a stick, but the pot on her head broke, but the water didn't fall. She kept the water in one corner innocently. People were dazzled about this power that she had. She was an ordinary lady, and suddenly they see this. But Ma, after that experience, she leaves the house. Probably the end of that prarabdha. We learned yesterday how Ma had taken multiple janmas before, 7 janmas. This was her seventh incarnation. Before that, in animal bodies. And the story of her in seventh earlier birth, born in same Kashmir, as a different lady, given birth to a baby boy. When she was dying, the baby boy was with her. Just after delivery, there was a priest. She called the priest, home priest, and she said, "Who is this child?" The priest said, "Obviously, your child." She said, "No." And she only said, "Remember this conversation. I will tell you later." Priest asks why. She says, "I'm going. My time is up." She leaves her body. She dies. The husband marries another lady, and the boy grows up. While the boy is growing up, this lady who left her body, previous Janma of Ma Lalleshwari, she takes 6 more Janmas in different animal bodies, quickly, short births. And seventh birth, she is born as Lalleshwari in Pandretan, Kashmir. She grows up again in a Brahmin family, poor family, but taken care of, and she is married off. Marriage proposal is fixed. The bridegroom is about to come. The whole marriage process is going on. This priest also is still there. The same priest, grown little older. He has no idea about this lady. And this priest only comes for this marriage, to fix this marriage. And Ma tells the priest, "Do you remember the conversation I had asked you to keep in memory about the boy?" The priest is shocked and looks at her and says, "Are you the one? That lady?" He says, "Yes." The priest is shocked. He remembers everything and he says, "Yeah, crystal clear. I remember. The picture is in my eyes, how you left your body. But I am shocked." "Yes, but you are told about the boy, that you'll tell me who's this boy." She pointed out, "That guy who's come to marry me." The priest is again baffled. "But he's your son." She says, "He was my son in previous lifetime. This lifetime, he is come here to marry me." The priest is stunned. Unbelievable. But he has no doubts because other than these two people, nobody had this conversation known. He is baffled. So, yesterday we understood how Ma was talking about to the priest that these are very common things. She says, "This is not only in my life, this is happening to everyone's life. All these relationships, what we call, are just intermingling every janma, from this body to that body, different role, different actors. But in this case, only Maya is available. She's aware of it. In other cases, nobody is conscious, nobody is aware of it. But she says it's a very common thing. And the priest goes thinking, what plays this prarabdha? What is this karma? What kind of plays this? So he's like, marriage with a mother. Lal says, I am not his mother. That was in earlier life. So the priest says, it is not easy for us to remember. Forget remembering, we don't even are aware that this lifetime also, all these are just souls in the bodies. We are not even aware at that level. So he says this lady is surely a great saint. So yesterday we understood how Lal's husband, Lalleshwari'S husband, was purely a worldly man. He always desired physical relationships with his wife. He was not even aware of Lal's dilemma, but Lal all the time was fully aware. Prarabdha. Yesterday, in the end, I mentioned I put a small video later because I forgot. When you listen to these things, when you become very conscious in awareness, if you are really mature, you should be able to digest these things, not create havoc again back in daily life. You might hear these things, you might have realizations, you might sometimes understand, sometimes have vague experiences, but that should not make you something different. If you change your attitude towards the world after these realizations, then you are not ripe enough to get the information, first of all. Because these information comes only when you are ripe. So Lal possessed very divine knowledge because many hundreds of janmas before she was a sadhika. Every lifetime she was evolving slowly, 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 slowly. After hundreds of lifetimes, she had reached this stage. Please be aware that we are not talking about Ma Lalleshwari's life. We are reflecting on our life. Be very clear. Because we are not listening to some stories and being amazed. Oh, how great Ma Lalleshwari is. We are not sitting here for that. We are sitting here to understand something deeper about our lives only. That should light up. So you listen about her, but the whole lighting up should happen. See, these things illumined my life for sure. If you take me 10 years back, 15 years back, what I was, and today what I am, I can see the whole change. When the illumination happens, you get detached. Detachment is a product of grace, consciously working with pure intentions. We will be relieved of this moha. Moha is the biggest catch. If moha is not being able to handle, you do whatever sadhanas, whatever spirituality, you cannot liberate. Moha has only become the cause of your punarpi janmam, punarpi maranam. Every lifetime we will be intermingled and sukha dukkha will continue. This janma also we are sitting and experiencing sukha dukkha because the completion was not given in previous lifetimes, though we may have had opportunities. Here is another opportunity. You miss it, it will continue. So there is no point just seeking self realization, liberation without understanding the science of self realization, science of liberation. What is liberation? You can see these little sanskaras also, how we were talking yesterday, how it deepens. We understood yesterday how in the previous janma, when the lady was giving birth, Mahalaleshwari's previous janma, she was giving birth to that baby boy. The first affliction of a moha that came, the emotion that flowed to her, my child. Looking at the child, because she was short lived. She didn't get to spend even raise the child. She gave birth and she left. But that one sensation which she looked deeply to that child and said, my son, that remained in her chitta. That is troubling her in this life as Lalleshwari. That putra moha. Because now she's in a dilemma. If she wouldn't have had that moha, understand, in this lifetime, with the husband only one pointed, it would have been easier. But why it is conflicting for her, why she's also undergoing a certain kind of suffering, because in her husband she can see that child also, that putra mohas, that emotion is stuck in her chitta. See, go to the depth of all these things. Okay, we are not listening to stories, we are reflecting on our lives. Where does these deep emotions of moha attachment come in our life? These are all carry forward from multiple lifetimes. It is not just one lifetime, they keep deepening lifetime after lifetime. So whenever the husband made any approach to Malaleshwari, she made some excuses and moved out again and again. So that disturbed the husband again and again. He was not able to understand, but Ma could understand. But she said that one affliction was still there in her mind. Lal was trying hard to come out of this difficult and paradoxical situation. Sometimes she would think about her husband's natural worldly desires, and being his wife, her heart would warm up towards him. But that very next moment, the parental affection dormant in her heart would suddenly crop up, and she would see herself as his mother. Look at this dilemma. This dilemma is coming from what we are talking is the previous Janma's moha, which has not been completely eradicated. How it troubles her. It wouldn't have troubled her if she's not illumined. See, it doesn't trouble us. We do not know how these people are around us. Nothing troubles us. If you come to know, I have given examples where people have actually created trouble after coming to know. They actually had trouble. Bharti ji, on your camera. Don't disturb me, huh? You guys. सुनते नहीं हो तुम लोग. I'll just send you out of the room. So she is like naturally feeling for her pati also, husband also, because she's in that role. That's her prarabdha. But at the same time, big dilemma about the child also. We do not know, thank God. This thing called memory is purposely wiped out from our lives. That is why I say don't be too keen to find out your past and future. पहले जो है वही संभालो, वही संभाला नहीं जाता. The headaches of this particular life only is so high. Why would you want to go and dig into the past? Masala. It's very interesting. We want to know what happened there. What will you do with it? When it actually surfaces, it's a suffering. And that is the punishment one gets for getting into all that nonsense. So this memory is deliberately eradicated from our heads. Imagine you are sitting here right now and all your thousand janmas, last thousand, you have had millions of janmas, thousand janmas, everything comes up right now. We won't survive even for 2 minutes. That happens. It's too alarming for the system to take. Too alarming for the system to take. So these things happen as a natural evolution. As we keep on progressing on the path, due to grace, as our chit gets purified, these things start surfacing. These memories, hints, some experiences of past lives, future lives. Future lives also can see. Ma was fully aware of her future lives also. She was fully aware of what all janmas she was going to. That illumination. Where does it come from? Natural purity. From her multiple janmas, multiple lifetimes of tapas, she had attained that. It came to her by grace. See, even in our lives, we might not see these things, but you will see a lot of complications in these relationships. Sometimes you're not able to understand why you hate somebody, why you can't stand somebody, why you some love somebody like mad, why sudden some deep afflictions suddenly sprout out for somebody. You have strange attraction towards somebody. Why suddenly you have strange repulsion? Why some places suddenly feel familiar? Why sometimes you feel the pull to go to some places? Why sometimes you dream about some person, place, thing? Why sometimes some things are there in your passion, fantasies? Why you have vague fantasies sometimes? If you remember, as in your childhood also, you had fantasies. So many things going on in your head. Probably sometimes even elderly will not have. Children can have it if you remember your. Where do they come from? Certain knowing, certain habits, certain talents. These are all coming from many janmas. I used to wonder because I used to just take the guitar and start off. I used to take the keyboards and start off. I never had any formal training, but I could just, with little effort, start playing it, start singing, start composing music. Nobody taught me. These are called Purva Janma Samskaras. These are carry forwards, not coming from one lifetime. You can learn it in this lifetime also, but if you learn it and it is strong in your chitta, it carries forward to next. Easily learning languages. You must have heard people speaking 14 languages very easily. Sometimes not even learned. Purva Janma Samskaras. These are all there in a chit. I used to have strange vision of Canada. Some certain tiles I used to see literally, stone tiles. And I knew it was Canada because there was a knowing long back, 25 years back, probably. In my meditations, I used to see some strange things. And just in a month or something, I met that friend, Melanie, from Canada. We are still connected. Some soul relationship it is. Never met or something like that. She's the one who sent me the crystal, amethyst. So I remember those weird, of certain places in the world during my earlier meditations when I was sitting. Not even meditation. Sometimes when I'm just sitting like this and my eyes closes and I fall into deep awareness. Suddenly I see scenes from some different place which I've never seen before. I see people's faces very clear. Sometimes they're talking and sometimes it is on some strange language. They are like flashes coming and going, coming and going. This used to happen in one time of my sadhana time. I didn't understand at that time what it is. But these are flashes from your chit, subconscious. They are all your past life. They come from the Akashic records. When you tap into the Akashic records. So with this, what happens? We are given information. What is this for? Not to play around with. They simply surface as release. Those who are not mature will catch it, embrace it, and will start acting funny things out of this. Then they are heading towards misery. See, that's the whole thing. When somebody sits and purposefully pulls out all these things, there is a bad intention. Intention is not very pure. There will be naturally a tendency to tabulate it, to manipulate it, to play around with it. So these things must never be attempted. Don't do it. Don't go for all this past life stuff. You simply handle your current life. If and when, if it is supposed to be shown to you or it has to surface, it will surface. If not, it is not required. You can simply bypass these things. I remember somebody did some program of past life regression somewhere. I was there with that lady. She used to travel with us. She one day took her son. Come, come. Her son is not interested. Spirituality means no. He said, come. Very fond. Moha. Putra Moha. And she took to this Shibir. And that guy saw something. God knows what he saw. He came back and he was a changed person. He just left home. And his mother was searching him, depressed. So if this is what spirituality is going to do, then it's a big trouble. When people are not mature and they put their hand into all these things happen. So that is the reason I was saying, when you listen to this, forget देखना तो छोड़ो, ये सुन के ही कभी कभी you might not feel comfortable. Not feeling comfortable itself shows it's still not a ripe time to listen to it also. You might exclude listening also, no problem. You might leave the satsang also, no problem, absolutely. But being fully digesting on the whole thing and yet being normal in the world, that's important. You understand everything, you look at everything, you're observant of everything, but you continue. That's maturity. And usually, as I told, no, all these kind of programs, sometimes people can get into their heads. And God knows, not everybody has a correct experience. Sometimes their mind will cook up things. Like I was telling in the retreat, no, in my life, I've never met anybody, all those who claim they saw some past life, I have never seen somebody telling, I saw myself working in a farm. Saw myself breaking or crushing stones. I saw myself begging for food. I saw myself living a poor life. I saw myself as a slave. I have never seen anybody talking this kind of language. Everybody is Cleopatra, Alexander, Mumtaz, Gandhi. Utter nonsense. This is all the mind's play. When the mind is corrupt, it creates all this kind of nonsense. It is better not to do these kind of things only. So anybody sitting with an Ashuddha mind to do all this past life stuff, they will come up with all this nonsense. And they are creating more trouble for themselves. So practicality is something else if you see it. And if you see it, why? What is the need to tell everybody? Telling, that's what I'm telling. That's not the whole thing. You might even know who your family members are, what they were in previous lifetime and all these things. But you have nothing to do with it. This lifetime, you are here to finish off the karmic, whatever you have to do. So silently, you just do that. Lal's husband of earlier life had married again after Lal's death. The co-wife of Lal's earlier life was now her mother-in-law. So who married uh, her husband after she died in that previous birth? That husband had married again. That lady only has become her mother-in-law this lifetime. And that husband of previous lifetime becomes the father-in-law. So you can see in this lifetime, the father-in-law is cool with her. But mother-in-law is very troublesome. She's always torturing her, literally like an enemy, literally abuses her. Lot of suffering Malaleshwari went through with her mother-in-law. Who's her mother-in-law? Her ex-husband's ex-wife after she died. See how these things come back to us. All the people in our families are this only. Kaiko sometimes kunas. You look into all these things. Suddenly you go into some different families and they are all weird. Forget other families. Our own families can act weird. In the family, there can be jealousy, there can be hatred, there can be resentment, selfishness, just like you have with enemies. Don't think it is only outside. It happens very much inside only because this inside is nothing but outside only. From outside only they come in. In her eyes, there was no man in this world. Why no man? Because they have risen above genders. There's no two, there's no opposites. So in that stage, for her, there is no man. Indirectly, she is seeking Shiva, not somebody sitting on the mountain again. Don't bring that image in your head. She is seeking a personality, a being who is in that state. Means you can see it is our yin and yang only. The feminine in us seeks the masculine. This is not about gender. We both have yin and yang, masculine and feminine. Male have more of masculine. Female have more of feminine. Feminine nature is chanchala. It is fickle minded. It will not rest. It will not keep quiet. It will not stay in one particular place. One second. It cannot sit in one place. Cannot commit to one place. It is constantly seeking something or the other. That chanchalta in us, the femininity in us only, is the cause of desires, which is restless. It is our feminine nature of everybody, male or female. Everybody has the feminine, the Shakti aspect, constantly chanchal. And there is other aspect, masculine, which is shant, stable, calm, peace, still, stillness, awareness. That is a masculine, Shiva part of us. We all have that. In male, the boys or the men, the masculine is more. Nischalta is, tattva is little more. In the feminine, chanchala tattva is high. So feminine, lunar, you can say the moon and the sun, the masculine. You can see the lunar changes, how the moon can have influence the whole water bodies. The oceans can change, the tides rise, the emotional moods fluctuates, the menstrual periods keep changing. So many things happen. The energy changes due to the moon changes. Moon is feminine, chanchal. So this nature of chanchalta, when it is moving outward, it is towards the world. Chanchal nature. It will only create. This even men have, female also have. It only wants to create. It has different desires all the time. Subh Sham tak. That is the feminine nature in us. When it is outward, when it gets tired in the outward, by whatever reasons, now it moves, but it moves inward. It is still moving. चंचल है वो बंद नहीं होता. चंचलता शक्ति का बंद नहीं होता. So Shakti is moving inward now. Same is what we are talking about Mooladhara and Sahasrara. The same feminine in us. When it is outwardly, Adhogati, Mooladhara. Procreation. See, it goes towards creation. When it is Urdha, when it is reversed, it goes towards Shiva's nature. What is that nature? Shiva in us only, masculine is there, which is pure peace, consciousness, still. So this Shakti now wants to go and merge with that. So internally, we have this deep craving. I want to be spiritual. I want to meditate. What is that? Male or female, whoever you are, when you have that urge, I want to meditate, I want to rise, I want to evolve, I want to liberate, and all that stuff, that is the chanchal nature now which is moving in the right direction towards Shiva consciousness. Inner masculinity. It is seeking that inner masculine stillness. Because when it goes inside and both these things happen, they come together. When the stillness and the movement come together, there is this bliss, I amness. That is the bliss that we are calling. Sat, Chit, Ananda. Sat is the stillness, Chit is that which moves. When they both meet, it is Ananda. So that is the right direction which we are moving. So all this inspiration which comes to us is the chanchal nature of mother only in us, the feminine, which is trying to move towards the masculine and unite there. Because it that is why all these concepts of beloved, beloved, Rumi's poems, if you see, it's all this. Rumi is talking about beloved, Ma Lalleshwari talks about beloved. Sufis talk about beloved. Ma is a Sufi. I told yesterday. She is a Sufi also. So that is why Lal was also in search of that ultimate man. So it is not that she is in search of some man. That being, see, that being can be found in some saints, in gurus, somebody who is realized. That is why that urge towards gurus or Mahapurushas or the run towards Avadutas. Why? Completely purified. Ultimate man hai wo, Avadutas. Ultimate man means the one who has conquered the Shakti part. Now the Chanchalta is not there. The man in whom the Shakti and the Shiva are balanced is known here as the ultimate man. When Lal would go to the river to fetch water, she would sit at a quiet place nearby and meditate for some time. At times, she would meditate for hours together, and this would delay her return home. Yesterday, we discussed this. This gave rise to many suspicions in the mind of her family members. So, as I said, she was beautiful and she was disinterested in this world, but she used to stay aloof in her own world. So, that can misunderstand. People can think this person is some weird person in her own world. Maybe she's thinking of someone. Yes, she was thinking about. She's seeking for the ultimate one. So, you can see, you can just even imagine how her life would be all the time contemplating on that one, beloved. How would anybody feel? Would have felt? God only knows. So inside the family, there is to have all these kind of doubts, many suspicions. One particular day, when Lal came home with a pitcher of water on her head, she was delayed as usual. We discussed yesterday. Furious with the wrath, her husband was waiting for her return. When he saw her coming, he screamed at her, "Whom did you meet this time?" By now, he had lost his control over himself. In a frenzy, he picked a stick and hit the earthen pitch which Lal was carrying on her head. The pitcher fractured with one stroke and the pieces flew in different directions. But lo and behold, the water in the pitcher remained as it is on Lal's head. Her husband and other members of the family were awed by this miracle. Lal went in, placed the water at the identified place of the pitcher. The aggressive spirit had now turned into bewilderment and reverence. So this whole scene suddenly turned into a different scenario. It was an angry thing. And suddenly they see this miracle and they are stunned by Lalleshwari's stature. This incident confirmed that Lal was an enlightened being. The villagers, now believing her to be the saint, also looked at her with great respect and reverence and began to visit her to pay their regards. Slowly, the news of this miracle reached the nearby villages. Devotees began to visit in hordes to pay their respects to her, but this fame did not go well with her disposition. She was a true aspirant, so she didn't like this crowd and all these things. what is happening. She never wanted all those things. It just happened. She knew that on the road to spirituality, fame is not a stepping stone but a major barrier. The urge to be famous has devoured many elevated aspirants. It is in the interest of the sadhan and the aspirant to stay away from it. These are the byproducts of the impure mind. If it is seeking to do any kind of sadhana practices for siddhi, powers, gain, fame, name, glamour, and things like that, then they follow. All these things do follow. But Mahaleshwari was aware completely of this, that it is going to be a major barrier in the process because it's very easy to get allured by the attention one gets, suddenly the power, the fame, and she's been visited by multiple villagers around the villages. So the crowds are gathering. Therefore, Lal decided to leave home and started wandering in and around the quiet environments of the forests. Lal's compositions, in fact, did reach the common people of Kashmir and became very popular amongst the masses, who in turn fully used them and even attempted to be benefited by them. So the masses, the people, actually benefited by this. It became very, very popular. Lal's inner self was so sensitive and discerning, pure and clean at that time and again. She would see the births and deaths of her previous various lives as clearly as a rose placed on her palm. So she used to see all her past life births and deaths as clear as she can see the rose petals in her own hands. She could foresee the events of the future in the same way as one is able to see the path ahead while walking the road. Just like हमको road आगे दिखता है. How clearly you can see the path. She could see her future in that manner. Her declaration on 7 occasions she saw the pond merge into Mahashunya is a reflection of on the state of her inner self. So 7 occasions she has told repeatedly about this pond merging into the Mahashunya. See, that's her vision, that's her experience, where she's calling it a pond merging into Mahashunya. This is a reflection of her inner state. It is a symbolic statement. Life is like a pond bound by various limitations all around. It is an after death state which is referred to as the Mahashunya here. After death state. The pond merging. Pond means body आप कह सकते हो. The body that is surrounded, or the Atman, the pond, see, the Jivatman, the self, Atman, surrounded by the Jiva. So Jiva क्या है? जीव जंतु सब everywhere the Srishti is there and the self is there like a pond. This pond merging into the Mahashunya. 7 occasions she has written in this. So it is Vishnutit Maharaj is explaining that this is what she meant. After the death, the life merges into this nothingness. And then at the appointed hour emerges again to be born again in the form of a pond, bounded by limitations on all sides. So this pond gets into the Mahashunya and comes again. Again becomes a pond with all the limitations in the surrounding. Again it merges. See, 7 occasions he has written. She is probably referring to the 7 lifetimes, which she has written about, sometimes animals, sometimes this and all that. That 7 times she has written about this. See how she has written. She has not given vivid details. She is writing about the pond merging into. Vishnutit Maharaj has recorded this very deeply. So after death, the life merges into nothingness, and then at the appointed hour, emerges again. This I have explained very clearly. How what happens during death? The whole impressions drops off, and what we did in the latest webinar, exactly that. There you are consciously pulling your light. Now I'm in the outside, then I am aware of my body, then of the prana, then if I'm aware of the mind, then back. As I go, everything you can see keeps dropping out, and you're going into that state. Exactly, death is like that only. Death also, it pulls back, you go deep, and what happens? After one state, when the final thought drops in you, you go into blank or sleep. You enter into, because samadhi also is sleep only, a long sleep it is, extended sleep. It can be a conscious sleep or unconscious sleep. So sushupti is what happens when we withdraw, and death also is the same. Every time you meditate, you go into shunya, blank, deep sleep. Every night you go to sleep in your bed, blank. You go again into that sushupti. Same way, death also is same only. During death also, the prana is pulled, you will enter straight into sushupti, a deep sleep. Then you awaken. Slowly you will awaken. Like you are awakening in the morning, like you awaken from the meditation, same death also, when you awaken slowly, you find yourself in a different body. That's all. Punarjanam ho gaya. That's the new life that you've got. This is the process, and this exactly it is explained here. Dekho. So at that appointed hour, emerges to be born again in the form of a pond. So what makes it born again? We discussed this the webinar. Your Anandamaya Kosha, Karana Sharira, where the bijas are there. That bija pulls you from sleep. Because this Karan Sharir हमारे में, we have got these desires left. This moh maya जो हमारे फंसा हुआ है, अटकन, that only pulls you every morning out of sleep. That only pulls you out of meditation. Why it doesn't allow you to meditate for a long time? You can't. After some time, some things will automatically your eyes will open. Or who's pulling it? This only. Causal body. It pulls. Vasanas pulls you out. The light out. So same way you see in meditation, you are pulled out. You're thrown out. In sleep at night, you are thrown out. You don't decide at night 1:15 I'm going to wake up. Spontaneously you might wake up and just see things and then go to sleep again. Who pulled you out? Karana Sharira. It pulls you out. In the morning it wakes you up. Same way, death also is like that. You go into deep slumber, sleep, and then something pulls you out. And by the time you open your eyes, you are looking at the nurse, looking at the somebody who's claiming to be the father, somebody who's claiming to be the mother, and you are looking like blank. Ye kaun hai? It's like you are woken in a dream now. What is this? Trying to understand what is this. Many times we wake up in the morning, right? It takes us some time to understand where we are, especially after change of place. You rub your eyes, you start, oh, okay. What is that? Memory loss. Slowly the mind is bringing all the memories out. So rebirth is like that only. Slowly it will start becoming aware of what it is. Then the child, the baby will still have awareness of previous lifetime. Everything it will have fresh, but it has no mind. It has no developed ego to react to that. But it's aware. Nityananda says in Chidakasha Gita, for 6 months the babies are fully aware of their past, present, who these guys are. It can see literally these exchanges which has happened. It knows, but it can't do anything because the ego is not developed, mind is not developed, but it is aware. It knows what is the truth. That is why the child is cries when it's born. We feel it is a physical phenomenon. No, it is because it becomes aware of this whole yatra now in front, a long journey in front lying, and it's aware of that, and it can see foresee all the pains and troubles and suffering. It can even realize it is in bondage, new another bondage, helpless, another janma. Child cries, weeps. More evolved the children, the lesser they cry. I think it's 11, right? We can stop here. It's in the middle of the book, but then if I go to complete this whole para, it will take more time. So where did I stop? Okay, I'll just finish this same line. Appointed are emerges to be born again in the form of pound, bounded by all sides limitations. This goes on and on, non-stop, and the worldly people always live under the fear of this sequential problem pattern. They are punarpi janmam, punarpi maranam. They see the specter of death hanging over their head during their entire life. But the wise and awakened yogis understand the secret, the substance, the essence, and the importance of this life death series. For them, it is a glamorous sport of Maya, the grand illusion. Who, for an awakened, aware being, they know this is all just the unconscious ones, they don't know anything. They are unconsciously living in this world. Punarpi Janmam, Punarpi Maranam. Me, Mera, me, my family, my possession, my people are unknowingly lost in that. I don't know how many of us are that way. I hope you are not. बिकॉज फिर लानत है ये प्रैक्टिस कुछ काम नहीं आ रहा है आपको शिफ्टिंग इनटू अवेयरनेस का लिविंग इन डिवाइन प्रेजेंस एंड पकड़ नहीं आ रही है आपको और टाइम पास के लिए कर रहे हो आप if you seriously do it, you will always carry this awareness of the Maya and you cannot be caught. This sport keeps the creatures involved confused and terrorized. See the why this is why we are terrorized. We are scared. We are so confused. Akhil is here. Oh, you're here. Huh? Good. Akhil and Rani are there. Okay, good, fine. They had to return from the retreat because his father was not well. So he went from there and his father just expired yesterday, right? And he's sitting here. Yesterday also, day before yesterday, just 2 days, he was in the ICU and he expired. He was in touch with me. He was sending the messages. So here he is. He's sitting here. Yesterday he attended. He's not that he's not fond of his father because he was very concerned there in the retreat. So there he said, I have to go and this is the thing. There also I told the same thing. This is how life is. It's a duty. You go and do your duty the best way you can. And he did his duty, but at the same time aware. And yes, we might have feelings. It's not that we don't have feelings. We are like a rock. We are nothing. We can have feelings because that is a part of prarabdha. You shedding tears, you feeling bad, you feeling the pain, the missing things. It's all there, but eventually it will fade out. Eventually it will fade out. But the ripeness is in not sitting like the other ignorant people crying and brooding and now we'll do this ritual that ritual and stuck up in that. No, what is your prime business? See, here you're sitting and doing the satsang. This is called awakened beings. What did Jesus say when Jesus was going? One disciple he caught, come with me. He said, I'll come, master. I'm so privileged, but one thing, my father died today morning. Let me bury and come. And Jesus said, let the dead bury the dead. Why the dead bury the dead? पीपल हु छाती पीट के जो रोते हैं वो तो डेड ही है. दे डोंट नो. अरे इट्स अ ट्रांजिशन. यू हैव टू सेलिब्रेट. You have to help. That is what I told Akhil also on the phone. Try to be there in the transition. It's the greatest punya you can do. If you can, if it is not, it is destiny. Try to whisper in their ears, whoever is passing away, that all is fine. It will be taken care of. Nothing to worry. Give them ashwasan, give them hope, give them courage. Ask them to chant mantra, ask them to think of God, whatever they are connected with at that time, because at that time everybody is struggling, everybody is scared. Once they hear your word, they'll soften down. Even if they don't hear, if they are in coma, jo bhi hai, you tell them and they will immediately settle. I told about one experience, right? My father's friend's mother expired this way, and she was very fond of me. She used to come and sit with me. Have We used to have satsangs and all that. In her house, nobody used to understand her. So that old lady, she used to always have frictions with her family. She was not at peace. So she will come and she will talk with me and she will feel nice and she will go. So whenever she gets upset, she will do that. And one day, We got a news that she's serious, and see the whole thing. I was there with her, some karmic connection with her. I put her in my car. We took her. We have shifted two hospitals in the ICU. We were there. She recovered. I talked to her, but again she went down. And by the time she was about to collapse, she went into coma, a kind of uh, where mind is not there. And the doctors was not allowing it. They had kept her on ventilator. So doctors wanted to keep her for another few days, 2 days, 3 days, 4 days. I told the family members, look, somebody wants to go, it must be allowed. These are all artificial stuffs. Don't go to do this. This is my advice. If you then rest is your wish. They also agreed. Why keep simply? And you're going to simply waste money and all that. It doesn't make any sense. Your moha and all that. Why should we keep recovering the people again and again and put them into more sufferings? If the time is come, they must go. Rather, we must allow them to transition properly. We cannot take decisions, but we must support in transitions whenever that's a mature soul. That's mature, awakened beings, not like crazy. You are crying and weeping and running around. You don't know what's happening. Arey, what have we learned then all these years? It has to mature in us. So when I told I want to meet her, doctor said you can't. Only one person is allowed in the ICU, and here we have five, six family members. Now I am not greater than the family members, so I said, okay, ठीक है. I wanted to go and talk to her because I knew it's the last. And strangely, what happened was at that moment, doctor was supposed to come after 1 hour. I was there talking. One guy's phone came. One boy said, "I'll just have tea and come." One guy went to buy something. This way, they just spread. And that time, it was not even 1 hour. Doctor came 10 minutes earlier. They thought that timing. Exactly, he came and he quickly called. And he's a busy doctor. He has to run. So they came and called. Who's there fast? Quickly come. We have 5 minutes. Only I was there standing. So they called me. I went inside. And the doctor was telling me the whole thing and all that. I said, the father is here. Can I call him? He said, call, call. Then I sent somebody, and father also came in. At that time, I told the doctor, can I talk to her? He said, no, she's good. She's not responsive. I could see all the whole thing. She's tied up with all that thing. I said, can I just try to speak to her? He said, okay, go ahead. I went to your ears, and in Malayalam, I told her, Ame namam japam jiye. Just do the nama japa. She knows. When we talk, she used to do japa and all that. Just do that. Everything is fine. Nothing to worry. Keep on chanting. I told her. She was like, no movements. I told her and I just moved. In 2 minutes, I saw tears coming out. Means she was responding. Maybe her body is not, but she was understanding it. That's it. After that, we came out, and I think in half an hour, she went off. So that kind of moments, if you can be there, transition moments, you should always try to help rather than panic. So these are examples right now. People are here in this platform only who are aware, fully aware of their duties and how we must finish off our prarabdhas and give them a. Akhil, you want to say anything? I thought you wanted to say anything. You want? If you have anything, you can speak. Otherwise, it's okay.
It was fine actually, Jake, and it was really thanks to you actually. I didn't know like what to do at that particular moment,
Okay.
right? But I had the strange feeling that he is going away at that
Yeah, you
moment.
told me that he's going. Yeah, that's your intuition.
So yeah, and I just wanted to help him actually because I always been very close to him. But
I
anyway,
know.
we all need to move on, right?
Yeah,
He has to move to his next journey. So I just
absolutely.
want to help him out, and just call you because he was not into that much into big spiritual stuff and all.
No, no, he
But
will be next because your ambience and all are there. That's definitely helps them. Your
yeah,
auras,
but
your
he
vibes. Hmm.
but he was connected to one, like I mentioned, that he was connected to one temple for, like, he was the president of that particular temple, committee
Okay.
president for that particular
Hmm.
temple for past 30 years.
Oh,
Yeah, so he was also fond of that particular deity with Durga. So I just uh, I just told him, like, he will be taking care of you.
oh,
Uh,
you told him, right?
yeah, I told him, and Yes, but he was in like you mentioned, right? He was in mask and everything.
Uh-huh.
But I don't know. I just gave him some water and
No,
I
no, that
just.
doesn't matter. The soul
Mm,
understands all that, though they might not respond at that moment. They are aware.
yeah,
They are conscious about it.
and I just chanted Guru Mantra also, and I was yes, and just put my hand in his
Right?
chest,
Okay.
yeah, in
Okay.
his chest, and just put like Guru Mantra in his ears. Actually, that's it. Because my
Beautiful.
Sri M told me that, taught me that mantra, like Diksha. So I just
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
put my hand and put Guru Mantra, and Renya also talked to him in
Hmm.
his ears, and she is also like very connected with him.
I
Uh,
know. She was more
she
panicky than you in the start. She was more
yeah,
worried
because
in the retreat.
yeah, because you know, right? She for her like he was like a father figure and
Father figure. Right. Right.
more
Right.
than
Right.
her
Right.
father because
Right. Right.
he supported her like in every time. So and he was
Beautiful.
very
You guys are beautiful. That's how we should fulfill all these relationships in the best way.
yeah
But another thing, that temple, whichever is there, Ma Durga's temple, you said, no?
mm,
You you try doing some thing there, some giving of some alms or giving of some food or things like that.
yeah, we
Because
always do that.
usually the souls have a lot of affinities to that. I remember my father, he was in the Ayyappa. He used to serve in this place. There's a Ayyappa temple built here. He passed away because he was all the time, he used to be fully involved there. And he passed away. And after many years he passed away, the temple was, they were trying to rebuild, and but some obstacles were coming. When they brought the Tantri from Kerala and they did a reading there, they found out there's a soul connected to this place. Then they had to do a lot of Shuddhikaran there. And there were a couple of souls in that my father's name was there. See, this guy doesn't know. He's come from Kerala. He doesn't know who's who. But he took the name, and then they had to do a process of purifications and things like that. They did it, and he was relieved from that place. This thought just came to my mind. So you can just have a word with the temple authorities and do some nice thing for some homam or things like. In Kerala they have a lot of things. It will bring him a lot of peace, because they are, when they are connected, you said 30 years, they will definitely have affection to those places.
Yeah, and after he passed away, right? So and then I was really sad. So I know, but
That's
I
okay.
just told her today, like, okay, it's fine. Like, yeah, I was sad. Like after that karma, the belly karma and everything we do, right, on third day and all.
Hmm.
So that was it day before yesterday, and we did it. And today, when we were talking alone, me and a lot of relatives and everybody, till 16th day, everybody will be coming to house, and a lot of
Hmm. Right.
nice here actually. So, and I told her like, okay, just don't feel pain when you think about him. Just have gratitude, like
Yes,
he
yes,
helped us, like
definitely.
everything. So every time the flashes will definitely come, right? The moments and
Yes.
everything will definitely come.
It's
And
very natural for all of us. It will
yeah,
be there
so
for some time, but it'll just fade away after some time.
yeah, so I told
But
her like instead of
mm,
pain, just convert that whenever you think about him, like just have the change into gratitude, and the whole feeling will change actually. So I
yes,
started to
because
practice that all. Yeah,
yes, because we should not be selfish. We should not be selfish,
yeah,
because when we
exactly.
have pain, we are actually trying to pull that soul for our gratification. So we have to think about that, and we have to bless that, say, and because they don't die here. Come on, they don't die. They're just thrown a body. That's all. That
Yeah.
souls never die, and that soul doesn't have exact experience like it is having now. We think, oh, the being has gone out, and they will be thinking, no, no, no. After they leave, their memories get disconnected with a lot of things. They are already in the pursuit of new venture. The soul just plans. They have gone into deep sleep, and by the time they are waking up, the karmas have arranged in some other places. That is what I was telling exactly in the retreat after you left also. That a soul might leave here. We might be crying and weeping here. It might have taken Janma somewhere else also. We can't say exactly. It may be after many years, or it might be immediate also. We don't know. We might be holding the old projection, but that being has entered into a new body, new status, new ideas, new roles, and it's a continuation of that soul. It is proceeding, right? Evolution. We are all proceeding in that manner. So tell her in this way. I think she's not here, right? For this.
She's sleeping actually. Oh,
കുഴപ്പമില്ല.
she's here.
കുഴപ്പമില്ല, കുഴപ്പമില്ല. ഞാൻ പിന്നെ
She's
റെക്കോർഡിംഗ് അയച്ചേക്കാം. അത് പിന്നെ അങ്ങനെ കാണിച്ചാൽ മതി. ഉം. ഈ ലാസ്റ്റ് പാട്ടെല്ലാം കണ്ടാലും മതിയല്ലേ? മൊത്തം റെക്കോർഡിംഗ് കിട്ടിയാലും മതിയല്ലോ.
she's here actually.
ഓക്കെ ഓക്കെ. ഓക്കെ ഓക്കെ. ഞാൻ റെക്കോർഡിംഗ് അയച്ചാൽ അത് കണ്ടോ. ഓക്കെ, യു ക്യാൻ സീ ഇറ്റ്. Don't feel sad. Don't never feel sad. Sad is a human emotion. You cry. There's no problem. You cry, you weep, and all those. But in the background, you should know that you are praying for this soul, that you be liberated. I don't want you for my sake. We are capable enough to handle these things. You came, you served your purpose, you're gone. I wish you all the best. You proceed further. This is the way you pray for them so that they can be happy. Because if we cry, brood, and things like that and all, sometimes they can sense it. Sometimes they will be pulled back, and that is not good for their journey. So we should not hold on to anything. And it's not good for us also. We will feel if they are there something. No, you will not feel happy. You will never feel happy when departed souls are around. They have to go. So they have to be lovingly sent away so that even we are liberated. Some way ഒരു അംശം ours also are connected. If we liberate them, we also will become liberated. If we don't liberate, we will also be caught up by something. It's very natural. In a week's time and all that, it will fade out. But continue with all the ceremonies, whatever is there, whatever those things are, that has to be formulated correctly. But deeply, you can sit and these awareness practices of light, you can see yourself as light, and you can visualize that also as light. And in that, you can always bless light, blessing the light. They will surely receive your prayers and blessings, especially if it is positive and light. We must guide them towards light, not towards bhoga, towards samsara. We have to tell them to move towards light. So our prayers, blessing all the time should go, be one with God, or go for the highest good, whichever takes you further to higher spiritual evolution. This is how we should pray. Anyways, thanks both of you for sharing. Thank you, Akhil. It was nice. This came correct time when we are discussing these topics and all. It will help others also understand we are practically doing things. We are not just intellectually doing these things. Okay. See you then. Yeah. Thank you everybody for being here today. We'll end with a short prayer. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudayachate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. May we all be blessed. May we all evolve. May we all be free. Just close your eyes and become aware of the light in us. We are pure consciousness. We are pure awareness. We are using this body to even understand these things through the mind, through the brain, through all these faculties. I, the soul, am having this experience of satsanga. I, the soul, who has been caught up in this ignorance, is slowly being revealed its true nature. I am the presence. I am not this body. I am not this intellect. I am not this man. I am not this woman. For the time being, I am caught up in this, strongly caught up in this individuality. But I right now realize I am not this individual. I am the pure light. I am being guided by the light. Lalleshwari'S presence, become aware of her presence, of all the ascended masters, Mahatar Baba, Jesus Christ, Ramalinga Swami, all the divine souls who are always there with us, protecting us, guiding us, helping us. We bow down in deep gratitude and reverence to all these ascended unknown masters. We pray for the evolution of all our family members. In this spirit, as I realize I am a divine being, I'm a divine presence. I'm not right now any role. I'm not a father, mother, husband, wife, brother, sister, nothing. I'm pure presence. From this pure presence, I pray for the presence in all my family members. All of them are souls stuck. Become aware of all of them, all the family members, randomly, everybody, all of them are souls. Just through your bhava, the prayers that may all be blessed, may they all evolve, may they all be free. My deepest prayers is that what I am getting an experience, even someday they realize when their time is right. I will not force anyone. I will not introduce these things to anybody. But from the background, I pray for everybody that they also evolve. We pray for all the people who were once with us and no more in their physical bodies. Become aware of all of them just as pure light, happy with what you're doing. In the human ego, they will not be able to appreciate what you're doing, but when they're out, they can realize what you're doing. They're aware and appreciative. Your light helps them also. However, whatever you evolve, a part of you, your evolution goes to your family members, to all your upper and lower generations, certainly. So do not underestimate your own evolution. Right now, just become aware of your evolved spirit, divine presence. May this light of mine illuminate all the beings in my life. Feel your divine presence illuminating every family member, whether they are close or not. All are receiving this divine presence. The grace of what is being given to me by the Ascended Masters through me expands to all of them. I wish and pray for everybody's highest good only. I will not hold back, control anybody for my gains. I am beyond selfishness. I am a selfless being. I want only the glory of others. May they all evolve. May all be blessed. May they all be free. When they are free, my responsibilities are over. I have taken birth not just for myself, but to finish my karmic ties. I right now remember it, and in total remembrance, I free everybody from the bondage of attachments. I am a divine being. They are all divine beings. Just visualize and experience everybody is free from you. Everybody is free. You are just a divine light. They're all independently free. That's the form of prayer. May you all be blessed. Stay blessed. See you. Tomorrow at 9 we'll meet.